Hey there, SHIRO listeners. Saturn Dave here, reminding you that you must play Sega Saturn, and that it's contributions from listeners like you that help keep this and our other shows hosted and available on demand, in addition to our website, SegaSaturnShiro.com, where you can find all of the most up-to-date news and information from around the Sega Saturn scene. If you'd like to show your support and gain access to several perks, visit patreon.com/Shiro Media Group to become a Patreon supporter. If a monthly donation isn't possible, no worries. We still value your support in liking and sharing our content on social media and joining our Discord community to become a part of the Saturn conversation. Thank you for being a loyal listener and a part of this great community. And as always,
Hallo, wir sind hier mit Andreas von Innen Games. Und hier hat I'm just joking, I'm not doing it in German, sorry. But we're here with Andreas. He has worked on several projects, including the Burning Rangers remake, or the remake of the little demo project. And then, of course, worked on Rainbow Cotton. How's it going today, Andreas?
It's going really well. I'm a little bit excited because I'm the first time as a presentation personnel at a exhibition booth, so I'm a bit excited, but everything is fine.
Nice. I'm glad to hear it. Yeah, no, I've been playing a little bit of the Rainbow Cotton demo. It's a lot of fun. It definitely feels a lot more playable than the original one did. You know.
That's great to hear.
Yeah, nice. So I guess we could start off. So how exactly did you start off working on the Burning Rangers project? Or I guess wanting to start doing stuff like that, like working on older games and stuff like that.
Yeah, I was born in 1970, so I'm really old school, so to say. And when I grew up with playing arcade games and first consoles like Atari 2600, and I'm also a big fan of 8-bit, 16-bit, and all the generations of old games and arcade games. So I started like doing these remakes when I made some hobby projects for myself. Like I experimented with Sega Saturn games because Burning Rangers is one of my all-time favorite games. Yeah. So I was very interested in analyzing the game, how it's built up and how the 3D models are made and stuff like that.
It was really fun. I remember seeing the demo of that has been posted online. We shared it with SHIRO, and everyone really loved it. It looked really well done, and we really were enjoying it. It's a lot of fun, and that sort of I guess pushed you to wanting to do more of that, like Rainbow Cotton and stuff, right?
Yeah, it's actually. I got into Rainbow Cotton because of my Burning Rangers demo I made. Because when I made this as a fun project, I thought, okay, this is working so well, and it could be like a model to bring back new old games to a modern audience and to modern platforms. So I sent the Burning Rangers tribute demo. I sent it to Innen Games. And they were very excited to see it, and they thought, "Oh, let's pitch this to Sega because that's what we want to do." But unfortunately, at that point of time, Sega wasn't giving away their licenses. Right now, I think they are on a politic where they want to keep the license for themselves and wanted to develop them for their internal projects, like they announced like Crazy Taxi and X and stuff like that. So Burning Rangers was not an option because that would be my favorite game to remake. And we talked like for maybe a year or so about other possible projects, and then Rainbow Cotton was one game that was talked about, and I was very interested in that game because it's a very niche title that was only released in Japan, and I love the aesthetics of Cotton, like this character and bright colors and nice looking graphics. So I thought that would be a perfect title for a remake because it was also only available in Japan.
Yeah, no, it's really cool because it's like one of the last Cotton titles that hasn't really been remade or translated to English in some aspects. Like the rest of the series has slowly been coming out, like Cotton, Rainbow Cotton, Cotton 2, and Boomerang, and got some like re-releases or some translations to be able to make them more playable, more accessible than buying a $200 Saturn game or like a $250 Dreamcast game. And so it's been really cool to be able to play that and like have people have it more accessible than having to put that much money into it. So I guess my thing is how that I guess a lot of people don't know that you approached Derek Pasquarella A-Team, who did the fan translation. You asked if you could work with him on getting the game to become localized, right?
Yeah.
So how'd that go about? I'm interested to hear.
Yeah, of course. I'm also like a member of the different Sega Saturn community Discords, like Saturn SHIRO, and
and thank you for that.
It's very nice. I think the Saturn community is a very nice place. You feel very comfortable. There are a lot of nice people. They share their interests. They're not offensive against other consoles. I think it's really the Saturn community is really a very nice community. And I was also on the Sega Extreme Discord, and Derek Pasquarella was also. I knew him from the translation projects, and when I got the opportunity to talk about Rainbow Cotton, I immediately remembered that Derek and his team, which you are also part of, Patrick, as I know.
Yeah, thank you. Yes,
they were doing
full disclosure. Yeah.
They were doing this great fan translation project, and I knew it. I didn't play it myself before, but I knew it from like YouTube reviews and stuff like that, and I knew that it's a very good translation, and there was put a lot of effort and hard work, especially in the translation of the cutscenes and this, because I know from personal experience that it's very difficult to get the timings right, to have the exact positions for these voice lines, and also to get a good translation and not just some translation. And so I tried, when I talked to Dennis from Strictly Limited and United Games, I told him we have to talk to Derek because we have to get him on board and use his hard work or his team's hard work for the official project, because it would be perfect to have this collaboration of fans and of the actual remake. So I told Dennis, please reach out to him, and he tried to reach out to him, but I don't know if you know this story already. He looked at his website and he contacted him through his Dreamcast email.
Oh.
And this Dreamcast email he only checks for like every half a year or so.
Oh wow! Did he happen to check it at the right time then?
So yeah, he said, oh, he's not responding, and I don't know why. And I told him, okay, I know him from Discord, and I will contact him directly. Mm-hmm. And so I contacted Derek, and he was interested in the project, but he also had a lot of questions about how this could be legally done and stuff like that. But finally it worked out, and yeah, he and you and his team were part of the remake project.
Yeah, no, thank you again. And I think what's interesting is that, at least from my perspective, I remember I was like, I messaged Derek, said, hey, you really can't say anything about this, but there's a company that's doing something with Rainbow Cotton. I can't say anything about it yet, so I just want to make sure that that if, when I sign the paper, that I actually have to ask the team for their go-ahead and okay before they do that. I'm like, yeah, sure, okay, I'll be done. And it was like, okay, that's cool. And I just didn't hear back for like a half a year. Like, oh yeah, by the way, it was in games with Rainbow Cotton, as Andreas Scholl. Oh, that's really cool. And I was super excited to hear about that. And I think it's really one of the first times that like a actual fan translation became into a game, was put into an actual physical release of a game, an official canonical release of a game, which I think is really cool. And really showing how the internet and fan projects are evolving over time. You know, where it's like it's more, I guess, officially respected, if that makes sense.
Yeah, and I think for me, it's also very fulfilling to see that this worked out and the game got released and new translations are in it and we work together. And yeah, of course, it takes a long time to figure everything out, to make contracts and stuff like that. But for me, I'm very happy that it went that way.
Yeah, no, it was really fun, and I'm really happy that the game is finally out and it's really fun. I'm really enjoying playing it. I think it's been out for a couple months now digitally, right? But it just
and in Japan it's released physically also.
Okay, yeah. So we're still waiting for the because the American ones I think it's coming out in a couple months, right? The physical release of Rainbow Cotton.
Yeah, I think it's announced for winter.
Okay.
It's always the problem with the physical releases is they have this production cycles, so I don't know the exact word how to say it, production slots, and they have a lot of games in the pipeline.
Yeah.
So they have to slot every game. So I know that the customers a lot of time they are not happy about this, but it's not like a big company like Nintendo or so. So they have to slot their games in this production slots, and it's like a sequential line. So when they have a lot of games in the pipeline, you have to still wait for the physical productions and to get all this stuff.
No, exactly. It's just really like what a lot of people don't know, especially with records and stuff, is that it's the same thing where if it's like it's not a big company, it's not like CBS or stuff like that, or some of the bigger companies, you really can't get it in the pipeline fast. You have to really just be patient, wait your turn. So a lot of the times, less production's put behind because it's like, oh, Nintendo needed a couple thousand of this game, or it's like, and we had to push you back. So it's like, it's just a really weird thing, especially with the demand of some of the physicality of some of these games nowadays. It's just like really hard, especially with all of them coming out. But I definitely can see that. But like, I think a lot of people are excited to wait and sort of get behind the Rainbow Cotton physical release and actually play that.
I'm happy because I tried very hard to get the Japanese version because I wanted to hold it in my hands. Actually, for me as a game developer, okay, digital is fine, but I want to hold my baby in my hands. So
exactly, it's
I
like
tried
another
to get
level.
the box, and now I have it. It's in my cupboard, and I'm excited.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's kind of what I want to do with the Rainbow Cotton when that comes out. I just want to get like a shadow box and just put it in there like a little poster and just like have it on my wall and just to be like, okay, this is what I worked on. Put this. So it'd be really cool just to have my name in the credits at least. That's kind of cool, but it was involved in some way. But no, I really appreciate the work that you did on that, and like that is in there and is able to be played and enjoyed by fans now worldwide, and they don't have to patch some ROM they have for Rainbow Cotton now. They can actually play it on their Switch or their PS4 or PC even if they wanted to. So
yeah. Also, yesterday I took a picture of two little girls, like maybe 10 or 11 years old, and they were playing the 2-player mode of Rainbow Cotton here. And I was super excited to see that, because it opens up to not only us nerds who play it in an emulator or on their old systems, but now also other people can enjoy the great games of that generation.
Hey, what's up? Sorry, I'll let you do that. I'll do that. You talk to him. I'm doing an interview. Okay, I just want to make sure if you need him or something like that.
She's my daughter, actually.
Oh, nice. Nice to meet you, Patrick.
Patrick from Sega Saturn SHIRO.
Okay. Yeah. Andreas ist so cool. Ich bin ein großer Fan.
Ich bin ein Fan von dir.
Danke.
Er macht sehr gute Arbeit.
Danke. So yeah, I guess so we can sort of before we go, just talk a little bit about your company, KRITZELKRATZ 3000.
Yeah,
is that
perfect,
right? Yeah.
Perfect pronunciation.
Nice. But yeah, I'd love to talk more about and see what projects are like, or that you can talk about at least, or that you want to do in the future.
Yeah.
Like, what sort of projects do you want to work on, and So what's your company about? Tell me just a little bit about the company, you're founding it, and
Yeah.
what you want to do with it moving forward. That's cool.
Yeah, as I told you before, I grew up with arcade games and the early consoles and stuff like that. So when I was thinking about what I want to do as a job, it was always game development. So yeah, when I was like 14 or 15 years old, I started to program on my C64, and my goal was always to be a game developer. So I started to actually develop games on the Amiga computer back then.
Oh, nice.
Commodore Amiga.
Yeah, Amiga. Yeah, we didn't really get that out in the United States, so it's like it's kind of sad.
And yeah, later on, when I was finished with my college, then I founded a small game development company with my friends, and we made games for it was I think in 1996 or so, as early as that. And hi Dennis, we made this Dennis Mendel from this kind of my boss of Strictly Limited. He's the founder of Strictly Limited.
Oh, that's really cool.
Yeah. And he's talking to has a Japanese wife, and he's also a Japanese speaker.
Okay.
Because he learned Japanese, and he travels always all the time to Japan and talks to Taito and to Success and to all the Japanese licensing companies. Yeah.
So this makes it a little bit easier to sort of interact with them, not have to worry about mistranslations or just getting everything solid, right?
Yeah, because the main thing that we can do Rainbow Cotton is that you have access to the license of Rainbow Cotton. Because if you don't have the license, you can't do anything. So without this guy, it wouldn't be possible to do any of those games, because he's able to talk to the Japanese companies and get the licenses for them.
No, that's really cool. And is it a hard sort of process to work with them to get the license? I don't know what it's like to do that, how much involved you were with that.
Yeah, I think from my personal experience, I know that it's to get in touch with a Japanese company who owns a license is a very personal and trust thing. Yeah. Japanese companies have to trust you and to know you, to have this trustworthy relationship, so to say, and this you can only build this up over a period of time. So he achieved that, and yeah, so this is why we are able to remake this in Germany.
I'm so happy you're able to do that. And NN Games is mainly located in Germany, right?
Yeah, it's kind of the main base company is called United Games, and they have two publishing labels. One publishing label is NN Games. They are like the retail label who brings it to the digital storefronts and so on. And then there's Strictly Limited. This is the label that started it all. They are producing these limited editions and collector's editions. And, yeah.
No, that's really fascinating. I always love the sort of the inner workings of that business stuff and how to work with them. So thank you for illuminating me on that.
No problem. So back to my company. We started out on PC, and we also did a lot for Game Boy Color, Game Boy Advance, and I always wanted to work with console games.
Okay.
But in Germany it's kind of hard, because in Germany we don't have a big it's growing, but at the time of the old consoles, so to say, like Dreamcast or Sega Saturn, it was nearly impossible to develop for those systems in Germany, because only the big companies were doing it. So I know for the Saturn, there's one company that did Tunnel B1, for example. They are also, yesterday I talked to the developer of Tunnel B1, for example.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. But there were not a lot of actual console developers. Factor 5 is another company. Very
legendary.
They worked for LucasArts and did all Rogue Squadron stuff and stuff like that. Yeah, so what we did is make games. Oh, sorry.
Oh, good.
Make games for the Game Boy Color and all the handheld Game Boy Advance, Nintendo DS and stuff like that, and also for PC.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was our main focus. We did a lot of games with local licenses like European and German licenses like Maya the Bee and
Oh yeah, classic.
like Wiki. I don't know if
Und die
it's
starken Männer, right?
Wiki und die starken Männer.
Yeah,
genau.
no, ich know.
Genau, and also for the
Really
Game Boy
spicy,
Color
like-
we did Jump and Run. It's called Das Geheimnis der Happy Hippo Insel. I
Yeah.
don't know if you know the Happy Hippo snack.
Nee.
It's like a small hippo in a chocolate from Kinder, you know,
Oh, yeah, Kinder Egg,
Kinderriegel
yeah.
and Kinder Surprise Egg.
Yeah, the
They
thing
also-
that banned the United States because people choked on the toys.
Yeah. And also the Happy Hippos is a brand of this Kinder or Ferrero
Yeah.
company, and they also had this little figurines like hippos, and the game is based on these little hippos. So it's like a jump and run, like Super Mario for the Game Boy Color.
Oh, that's really interesting. And you worked on those? Or?
Yeah, I programmed it.
Oh, nice. I would love to try the Viking. I didn't know there was a Viking and Starken Männer game. I really want to try that now.
Wiki is for PC.
Okay,
Yeah,
so I have to
it's PC jump
get some
around.
emulation going for that. And
Yeah, but you should if you like Game Boy Color games, you should definitely try out the Happy Hippo game
huh.
because it's one of the games I'm most proud of. It was also featured in the official Nintendo magazines.
That's really cool,
Where you
actually.
put, yeah, and there even was some guy the chromatic guys who make this Game Boy Color
Yeah, we were just
hardware.
talking the other day.
Yeah, and the guy, I talked to an American guy, and he knew this Happy Hippo game. I was
That's
very
funny.
surprised. And he said, "Oh, the Happy Hippo game, they did a special Game Boy Color edition only for this Happy Hippo game back then. Do you know this? Do you have this special edition?" And I said, "Oh, yeah, yes, I know it, but I don't own this special edition, unfortunately."
But no,
I was very surprised that American people knew this German game.
Yeah, no, there's a big fandom for stuff like that, and a lot of people, especially that like German culture, really enjoyed.
Yeah.
So like for me, like I don't think anybody I really know knows about a Vicky or a Maya the Bee or anything like that. So, but it's really cool, and I actually didn't know how far back you went where you actually worked on Game Boy games. That's kind of really cool.
Yeah.
How hard is that compared to sort of working nowadays with the tools and stuff we have today?
Yeah, so I mean, game design is kind of the same, but like actually programming on the Game Boy Color, you program everything in assembler. So because the hardware is, of course, 8-bit hardware.
Yeah.
It's got a slow processor, but actually the graphics hardware and everything is very cool because it's perfectly designed for that type of games. Like you have sprites, you have tile maps. It's a lot of fun to work with this hardware like Super Nintendo or Game Boy Color or even Sega Saturn and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But like programming assembler is a lot of typing work because nowadays you want to achieve something, you write a few lines of code, and in assembler you actually type a few pages of code
Yeah.
to achieve the same thing. But if you're used to it, like for me, I grew up with programming in assembly language
Yeah.
on the C64, so it's like I can write it like naturally. It's just more effort in typing it in, but you think in another language, so to say. So you think in assembler when you program, and so it's not actually a lot more difficult, but it's more work maybe.
Yeah, no, because I know that I've done assembly programming in school, and working with sort of the jumping the different registers and actually writing the registers is incredibly hard. But yeah, no, I really find it fascinating how assembly works and how, for people that don't know, it's pretty much you write directly to addresses, right, versus compared to code where you have to write line by line, you're just calling registers and addresses, right?
No, actually, it's just a different instruction set. Like in a modern language, you have something like an if command or so, like condition, if condition.
Yeah.
And in assembler, you write CMP, compare.
Yeah.
Like, and you don't have 100 variables. You also can define variables, but you also work to make efficient programming. You use the hardware register. So you have like limited registers like X register and Y register and accumulator, and you use these registers to make your code very fast for the slow systems, so to say. So it's just another programming language. It's like the most basic programming language you can think of, but it's not like typing in numbers or so. You also write your instructions.
No, that makes sense,
your CPU instructions. Instructions that the CPU understands.
Nice.
And if you have a higher language, then the higher language is translated into the CPU instructions with a compiler, and then it's also basically assembly code. But it's not like as optimized as if you would write it natively in assembly language.
Nice. No, that's really fascinating. I know a lot of people aren't really familiar with how coding works, so it's kind of like a weird, it's kind of weird hierarchy of code. So it's super interesting. So just trying to
in general, if you can program in any programming language, you can translate your skills into another language. If all programmers would be able to program in also.
Good.
All programmers would be able to program in assembly language. It's just very tedious. I don't know if that's the correct word, but
no, it definitely is tedious. Tedious is the word they use for that.
Yeah.
But it's really fun, and I guess before we go though, I just want to ask, can you tell me some projects you're working on in the future that we can look out for, or?
Yeah, of course. I always try to promote my personal interests, which are mainly Sega games. Like I love Burning Rangers, and I love stuff like Fantasy Star Online and stuff like that. So I will always look for opportunities to sneak in my like questions. I also love treasure games, but it's games with treasure company. But a lot of times it's out of reach, but I will always try that. So what I can announce is that one game that I work on, it's also here presented, it's this Crossout. It's a 2D shoot 'em up that's port from an old German Amiga game.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, you can actually play it just around the corner. It's a 2D shoot 'em up which we remade and enhanced. It still uses the original assets because I'm always a fan of using the original assets, contrary to making everything look different. Because I appreciate the original designs of the games and looks.
Exactly, keeping the integrity of it, but also adding some, modern updates onto it, right?
Yeah, adding is fine, I think, but I'm not a big fan of the remakes which completely change everything, because they can be cool, of course, but it's not like disturbing the original art style. Everything.
Exactly. But it's really cool that you're actually preserving in that way, and not sort of change it. Oh, it's cool and modern and cool looking. It's like it respects the integrity of it, which I think is lost on a lot of companies that do remakes and stuff like that. But I think the way that you guys are doing it, really doing well, and I'm really excited to play that and what you guys got going on in the future.
For me, it's really making remakes is not out of like financial interest. It's a thing that is like a passion that comes from my heart. So I want to really give the people the experience of this retro games. So I think it's a bit hard to describe, but so I always try to keep the spirit of the games and I would totally love to see more like Sega Saturn and Dreamcast games being remade, especially niche titles that were not so well known or not so well received because they, for whatever reason, so one game we are talking about right now, which I unfortunately cannot tell what it is. It's a Super Nintendo game with
nice. This was like not released in America at all, or?
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
But it's a game that was only released on Super Nintendo, so it's also exciting to, if it all works out, we are still in talks about it, but it's very already tied up, so I think it will be our next project. But my mind is always thinking about like Sega Saturn games.
Nice. No, I'm excited to play it, and I'm excited to see it. Hopefully, we can see that release. Do you know, like maybe a time frame where we can hear like an announcement of that, or is it still just in the works?
Yeah, we are in a very early stages, so I guess it will take a few months before something will be announced. But,
okay, well, once that's announced, I'll update the video and the audio link, and I'll put what the project was in there. Like, oh yeah, it was this game. If you guys want to check it out, once it's announced, of course, we're not going to leak stuff and get you in trouble. So we're good. But anyways, thank you again for doing the interview. I really appreciate that, Andreas. I love all of your work. I love everything that you've been doing, and I'm excited to see what you're doing now in the future. The Super Nintendo game, of course. Play your new title over there, and try that out, and play some Amiga stuff that I've not played before. So thank you very much, and hopefully you have a good day and you have a good rest of your Gamescom, right?
Yeah, I will be here for the rest of the Gamescom, so we get to see each other. I think one thing I wanted to add is that while it's one thing for the Sega Saturn games, Sega Saturn fans, that while I researched on the Sega Saturn games, I was completely amazed how capable the Sega Saturn hardware is in handling all this complicated 3D model data. Because maybe we have sometimes when we meet again, so I can show you how actually the levels of Burning Rangers or Shining Force 3 look inside a 3D model editor, or a 3D game engine. And when I saw it first, I couldn't believe it. Like, it's so much work and power that's put into those games.
No, we definitely can. We're going to have you back on the podcast if you'd like to do one, like a more in-depth one, if you'd like, with Dave and all the other ones.
Cool.
Get that in the future. I think that'll be definitely doable. And I definitely would really love to have you back on and maybe see you in person, maybe in the next Gamescom or something like that. Do that, but yeah, thank you very much again.
Thank you. Thanks a lot.